Hey guys, in today's video we'll show you our top quality multi-time frame analysis that no one talks about. So stay tuned. But before we continue, we also want to note that we have a Telegram channel as well, where we post signals and other top quality educational content. So here's EURUSD, and as you can see we again had this long wick candle right here. How it affects our bias. First of all, this long wick means that within the week price tried to push higher right through our monthly effective resistance but failed, meaning that price failed to hold that level and proceeded down. But again guys, as for now it shouldn't be considered as a bearish bias. First of all, let's take a look at our past performance on EURUSD. As you can see, we have the same long wick reaction to the key levels. For instance, right here we have a long wick candle rejecting our weekly effective resistance right here. And as you can see, we have few rejections and then price pushed higher. And great example right here as well. So we have multiple rejections of our monthly effective resistance, then price stuck in some consolidation and proceeded up drastically. So again, we expect the same consolidation right at this key monthly level, since it represents a lot of value and strength. And as you can see, huge buyers and sellers take actions right at this level. But again, when it comes to bearish bias, we would like to see at least the breakout of the given structure to make for price a new low. Only once we get this new low, we may discuss about some early signs of a possible trend change and expect a pullback right to the next monthly level right here. So with that being said, we have an unconfirmed bullish bias on the EURUSD on the weekly. Thus we will consider both scenarios on the lower time frames for the coming week. So with that being said, let's proceed immediately to the daily. Before we continue guys, we also want to share with you our VIP group performance. As you can see, around 3,000 pips was made by us this week. So great performance. As always, our VIP group includes a trading program along with our 3 top strategies for the day trading, for the scalping and for the gold price action trading. Also we send advanced setups every weekend from which you could profit when the market opens, and of course live signals. So guys, all info will be in the description to the video and in the comment section below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach our support team and you will be answered as soon as possible. So again, around 3,000 pips in 1 week. Feel free to check all links below, and let's back to our analysis. So here's daily, and again, nothing fundamental to add right here. Because again, here's the same structure about which we discussed on the weekly time frame right here. As you can see, which is also respected and rejected multiple times from both sides. For instance, right here and right here. And again, the pullback right to the structure will be normal for us and will not mean a trend change. And what is more, as you can see, we have the 50 EMA floating right at this area, which could act as additional dynamic support as well. With that being said, again, we have no reasons to talk about bearish bias as for now, but again, we're concerned with these 2 red candles, and we don't like to see it when it comes to pure bullish bias. So again, all this should be confirmed on the lower time frames. So with that being said, let's immediately proceed right to it. So here's EURUSD for our time frame, and as you can see right here we have our already established structure level and the longer term trend line right here as well. So first of all, on the 4-hour time frame, we have some clear bearish price action right here. We have bearish momentum golden candle right here. Then we have some price sharpness on the monthly effective support, which now turns into resistance. And as you can see, we have a pure momentum breakout right through both confluence factors, meaning the 50 EMA on the 4-hour time frame and the monthly effective support, which now turns into resistance. So you can see a clear momentum breakout. But again, for final confirmation, as always, we would like to see the breakout of our area of high confluence, where the structure level and the trend line are perfectly lining up. Only once this high confluence area will be broken, we may easily go into the short trade, and our first obvious target will be the round number level 1.21. So again guys, very simple idea for the EURUSD if it will further proceed down during the week. But let's proceed down to the 1-hour time frame to discuss a bullish idea as well. So here's 1-hour time frame, and when it comes to bullish bias, we have a very simple idea for the coming week. So first of all, let's draw the trend line. As you can see, we got this trend line right here with multiple rejections just by connecting these 2 swings. And here it is. As you can see, we again have an area of high confluence where the trend line, monthly level and the 50 EMA are perfectly lining up right here. So again, the breakout right of this structure level, right of this area of high confluence will act for us as a trigger event for a long trade, meaning that once we see a clear breakout right through these 3 confluence factors, we may easily go into the long trade. And as always, our first obvious target will be the top of the trend line somewhere right here. So guys, with that being said, let's move on. So here's pound dollar, weekly time frame, and again we have this bearish candle right here. which we don't like to see when it comes to great bullish buys. But again guys, as for now we have no reason to tell about bearish buys, since it could be only considered as a pullback right to the weekly level. Because again, we would like to closely monitor the price action right at this weekly level, since we have a breakout and this could be only a pullback right to that level. As you can see, just using the Fibonacci extension tool, even at a weekly level we have 0.382 extension, from which price could easily reverse and proceed up. Since again, considering the global picture, we have an uptrend, we have a higher highs, higher lows, and again higher highs. Looking at the global picture, we have an uptrend, and only the breakout of the given weekly level, meaning that if price will break right through that level, we may start to talk about bearish buys. But until that time, this bearish price action can be only considered as a pullback. So with that being said, let's proceed down to the lower time frames to discuss our ideas more in depth. So here's pound dollar daily. We can see the following, and let's draw the structure level right here, and as you can see, price rejected it within the week multiple times, meaning 5 days in a row price was tried to push right through the structure level but failed, creating these long weeks, again telling for us about some bullish pressure that exists within the structure level. As you can see, price in a clear uptrend since we have a higher high, and again price failed to make a new low right here. So with that being said, let's immediately move to the lower time frames to discuss our ideas for the coming week. So here's for our time frame one notable item right here. As you can see, we have the 50 EMA floating right within the structure level, which again serves for us as an additional confidence factor and dynamic support right here. First of all, let's consider our bullish idea for the coming week. Again, very similar to euro-dollar case and very simple as well. So let's draw a trend line right here. As you can see, we got our trend line, and again, once the price will be able to break right through the trend line and make a clear higher high right from this level, meaning that we would like to get a breakout right through that level as well. So only once the trend line and this minor structure will be broken, we may easily go into the long trade, again targeting the top of the trend line. But when it comes to bearish scenario, like we discussed previously, we would like to see at least the breakout of this weekly level. Because again, before that breakout, it makes no sense to look for some short trades on the pound dollar. So only once we get the breakout of this weekly level, we will be looking for some pullback or to that level or to the Fibonacci golden zone or some pullbacks on the lower time frames to get an entry. So again, our trigger event in the bearish scenario will be the breakout of the weekly effective support level. So with that being said, let's move on to the dollar CAD. So here's dollar CAD weekly, and as you can see, we have some bearish candle this week breaking right through the structure level as well. But again, on the other hand, we have long wicks which is sticking out from the both sides, meaning that this candle could not be considered as a pure bearish candle. Because as you can see right here, we have a long wick which is sticking out along the bottom and along the top as well. Even though we got some trend continuation to the downside on the weekly, we should take a greater attention to the lower time frames to deal with our medium and short-term trends. So with that being said, we of course have a bearish bias, but again, it should be confirmed through the lower time frames. So here's daily, and as you can see, we have the following picture. Before we continue, guys, also please note that we have a round number level right here, 1.27. So let's make it green as well. So very obvious price action. As you can see right here, we have a great engulfing candle, which breaks right through the structure level and right through the 1.27 price level. And then, as you can see, we have 3 long wick candles, rejecting the both round number level and our major structure level as well. So again, clear bearish price action, allowing for us to establish a bearish bias on the dollar CAD on the daily time frame as well. So let's immediately proceed down to the lower time frames to discuss our scenarios for the coming week. So here's dollar CAD for our time frame. And first of all, let's discuss a bullish scenario. But again, we have a lower probability for that case during the next week. So first of all, let's draw a trend line somewhere right here. So we got our trend line. To enter long, we would like to see the following breakout, meaning that we want to see the breakout of the trend line, structure level, 50 EMA, and our key weekly level. Only once these all confluence factors will be broken, it will signal in for us a new high, a higher high, and then we may start to look for some pullbacks to enter long, because as you already know, when it comes to reversal trading, we should confirm our bias through multiple confluence factors, and that's why we would like to see the breakout right through the 4 confluence factors before entering the long trade on the dollar CAD on the 4-hour time frame. So with that being said, let's proceed down to the 1-hour time frame to discuss the bearish scenario for which we establish a higher probability for the next week. So here's dollar CAD 1-hour time frame. And first of all, let's do a trend line as well, as always, right here. So we got our trend line. We also have a minor structure level right here because we have some price choppiness right at this zone. So again, to enter short and to catch next trend continuation wave, we would like to see the breakout right through the trend line and right through the structure level as well. Once these two confluence factors will be broken, we may expect next wave to come to the downside. So with that being said, let's move on to the gold. So here's gold weekly time frame, and as you can see, we have a perfect long wick candle rejecting three confluence factors at the same time. As you can see, we have a long wick rejections of the trend line, of the monthly effective resistance, and of the weekly effective resistance as well. And for this more, we even have a breakout of our structure level right here. So with that being said, for the coming week, we expect a further trend continuation to the downside to test the monthly effective support, which perfectly lines up with the 50 EMA on the weekly time frame. We establish a bearish bias on the gold on the weekly. Let's go down to the daily. So here's daily, and we confirm our bearish bias right through this candle. As you can see, this massive momentum candle breaking right through the 50 EMA weekly effective support level and the structure level as well. So again, this huge momentum candle obviously tells us about strong bearish momentum and give us high probability of the further trend continuation to the downside. So again, on the daily, we have a bearish bias as well. With that being said, let's go down to the 4-hour time frame to discuss our ideas for the coming week. So here's 4-hour time frame, and again, for the bullish ideas, it makes no sense to enter long until the breakout of the 50 EMA and of the key monthly effective resistance right here. But when it comes to the short idea, we as always want to see the pullback right to the structure level, and then draw a trend line and wait for a breakout of it, which would act as a trigger event for the short trade. Because guys, don't be greedy, gold always pulls back and offers great entry points. We personally will wait for a pullback right to the broken structure, and then we'll wait for a trendline breakout as a confirmation to enter short. So with that being said, let's move on to the US. So here's US oil, and as you can see, we have this perfect bullish engulfing candle right here, breaking right through the weekly effective resistance as well. So again, like we discussed and like we expect previously, US oil made its next move to the upside. And again, considering this candle, we have a clear bullish bias on the US oil on the weekly time frame. We have this beautiful drastic momentum and price is heading up. So with that being said, let's move on to the lower time frames to discuss some ideas for the coming week. So here's 4-hour time frame, and as you can see, we have this drastic uptrend right here. On the one hand, it's great when you're already in position, but again, when you are looking for entry, this price action isn't great for us. But again, considering this drastic uptrend in mind, to enter long, we would like to see the pullback on the US oil, or on the 4-hour time frame, or on the 1-hour time frame. So as always, we are waiting for a pullback, then we will confirm it through the trend line, breakout, and enter long. Again, guys, we establish very low probability for the bearish scenario for the coming week on the US oil, which is why we even don't consider it on this analysis. So guys, thanks for watching. Press the like button if you like the analysis, comment below what pairs you track for the coming week, what you think about this analysis. Also, links to join our VIP group will be in the description and in the comment section below, so feel free to check it. So guys, again, thanks for watching and see you the next week.